won by Calvin Brock. Brock came out for the first 2 rounds as a lefty, then switched to righty for the last round. There was a little difference of opinion today between the 2 fighters as to how Calvin Brock would come out for this one.
He will come out one way, a lefty. And if he switches over to a righty, it will be in my benefit for my right hand to catch him more.
Well, I have been wanting to do away with southpaw for a while, but my father, my coach, he told me, no, keep it, just keep it, just keep it. And so I kept it, and we both agreed on at the same time that enough was enough. We didn't need to deal with southpaw anymore. We would just concentrate on boxing orthodox.
So who will be right? Will this man, Dominick Guinn, be correct that Calvin Brock will come out as a lefty, or will Brock come out as a righty as he promised? Now we're going to find out. Let's go to our ring announcer, Dick Wood.
Moving up to the super heavyweight division, 201 plus pounds. Boxing out of the red corner from Hot Springs, Arkansas, and NMU, Dominick Guinn. And out of the blue corner from Charlotte, North Carolina, Calvin Brock. The referee is Lola Morrison.
Well, it looks like Calvin Brock was right. He knew exactly what he was going to do because he came out as a righty. Now, let's see if Dominick Guinn is suitably surprised by this move. He said he would be happy if he came out as a righty.
Let's see if the culture shock registers here. He was fully expecting the lefty angle, even though Brock said he thought he did best in that bout as a righty in the final round.
And that was the other thing they took issue on. Guinn thought that he hurt Brock when Brock was a righty. So we'll find out whether this will work for Calvin Brock. Brock came up in weight from the heavyweight division, said he couldn't make the weight anymore, and so far he is undefeated as a super heavyweight, including his win in the U.S. Championships. He beat Guinn in the semis, then went on to beat T.J. Wilson in the finals, also a boxer you've seen many times here on the amateur boxing here on the Deuce or on ESPN. We're happy that you joined us this evening. It's been an interesting competition already, and this U.S. Challenge. Al Bernstein along with Dave Bontempo here at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs.
Calvin Brock had trouble with the weight. He said he feels so much better now coming up here, and that he could really develop into his talent, and that even gradually getting rid of the southpaw style had been convinced to stay by his corner, his father, and he said, no, I have to go my own way now.
So far, he believes it's been effective. And his reasoning was that as a righty, he punches with a little more power. And he said when you get up with these super heavyweights, you need to punch with power.
And then he tried the right hand there behind the jab as he tries to get something going here.
Guinn is the 1999 National Golden Gloves champion, which, by the way, has given him an automatic berth on the at the Olympic trials, and because of that, Calvin Brock also has a berth at the trials, because the winner here would get a berth at the trials, but if the other man already has a berth, the silver medalist gets it now, so both these men will have a spot. Calvin Brock, as you see him sitting in the corner, we mentioned that he moved up to the super heavyweight division. Why did he go? He tells us.
I just couldn't make heavyweight anymore. 201 pounds was just too light for me. I was coming to the tournaments at 208 pounds in shape, having to lose 7 pounds by the next morning every day throughout the whole week. And by the time I get to the finals, I just didn't have enough steam in me to pull it out in the last round, and that's why I took second place in the last 2 years U.S. championships in 97 and 98 to DeVar Williams.
And so far, in this fight especially, Brock has been comfortable at the super heavyweight division. He is winning 3-0 in round 1 here by the computer scoring. He hopes to continue his winning ways in this heavier weight division. Calvin Brock in the blue, Dominick Guinn in the red. Guinn from Hot Springs, Arkansas, 24-year-old at Northern Michigan University, where Al Mitchell coaches him, and Calvin Brock from Charlotte, North Carolina.
I think Calvin Brock is a little bit more spontaneous as a right-hander. As a lefty, he was very mechanical. He was trying to wait for openings and score. He was always in low-scoring bouts. We saw that in 1996.
Yeah.
Here, it seems like he's willing to let his hands go a little bit more as a righty.
That's really a good observation, because you're right. As a lefty, he did seem mechanical, and it didn't seem to let things flow as well as he might. Caution for talking given to Dominick Guinn, and there's how the judges sit with their computer, punching either the red or the blue. As Dave said, the majority of judges have to agree within a second. 3 of the 5 have to agree within a second for a punch to count.
And then if the numbers end up tied, then you go to total punches that are recorded. So even if it's not recorded simultaneously, the total number is used in case of a backup, and we've already seen that tonight.
Eloda Morrison is the referee. And in this tournament, we've seen some very good officiating, both in the ring and at the judging table as well.
And when we were mentioning that with the computer scoring in the Vincent Tucker bout, they did end up tied. Vincent winning on the backup system.
Under a half-minute left to go in what is, I think, a pretty close super heavyweight bout, although the edge in the first round went to Brock. Guinn's been pretty active. Good body work by Calvin Brock, but will all those score via the computer? So that'll do it for round 2 of the 4 that these two super heavyweights will fight. We'll be back right after this.
Back from the...
So we head into round 2. In the red, it is Dominick Guinn, the 24-year-old from Hot Springs, Arkansas, now Northern Michigan University. Round 3, excuse me. We already had round 2. This would make this the 3rd round.
The 2nd anniversary of round 2.
Thank you.
That's what you meant.
That is what I meant to say. In the blue, it's Calvin Brock from Charlotte, North Carolina, who's also a